Dear Mother and Father, what a week it has been. No sooner had we arrived for our new school year when a monstrous hurricane swept through our school campus. Coach Moulton's home looked like it had been hit with shellfire. Chimneys came tumbling down, windows blew out, and the apple orchard was destroyed. It left considerable damage in its wake, but we all turned out in squads to assist with cleanup. Only the chapel escaped the wrath of the storm. Despite the lack of electricity, Headmaster Lefferts and the masters devised emergency plans to start the schoolwork of the year. With that, school arrived as usual, although it was rather strange to have a chapel service without the magnificent sounds of Mr. Hadley playing the organ. A few days later, sixth formers had us in stitches with an impromptu candlelit variety show. Jack Gardner and Press Clement did a funny skit, and Will Proctor and Franny Thorne played the piano and came back for 2 encores. Despite all the spontaneous activity since the storm, studies continue to be a priority. My academic schedule is quite heavy. Latin with Reverend Langdon, English with Mr. Jones, United States history with Mr. Strong, and science with Mr. Seeley Brown. All this in addition to student council, Pontefract, and choir. We are also preparing for the first debate of the Pro-Con Society. The current European crisis will be the main theme of our debate. Father, you'll be pleased to know that we won our football scrimmage thanks to the running of Sterling, Stack, and Greased Eel Swift. We did, however, bow to Berkshire in the first game of the season by a score of 9-6. As I peer out my window, the cleanup work continues. It will take many years of planting and planning to restore our campus. The wind may have taken shingle and shutter, windows and weather vane, but it did not break our Pomfret spirit. There is a fresh new sense about the masters and student body. Indeed, I think Pomfret School has truly experienced the new winds of change. I'll write again soon with fond thoughts of you.
Dear Mom and Pop, sorry to be so late with this letter, but it's been a busy winter term. I'm hitting the books, and Mr. Ranhoff is doing his best to squeeze geometry into my brain. In French class, Mr. Marcotte is suffering through our heavily mispronounced readings of Voltaire and Balzac. And we're learning about electricity in Mr. Swinnerton's science class. When I'm not studying, I'm either at the engine shop, overhauling an old chassis, hanging around with my friends, or I'm on the sidelines cheering for the many Pomfret teams. In hockey, the Milner men started off strong with 3 wins, but then proceeded to lose the next 7. A bone-chilling winter has made for plenty of natural ice on the hockey pond, but we've put out a plea for the school to build an artificial ice hockey rink. Pontefract sports editor, Emlyn the Gremlin, is one of many who feel that a hockey facility would draw better players to the school. Basketball fared a little better under coach Manny Mansfield, and Dave Pivot Schaefer set a new school scoring record of 37 points in our win over Avon. All year long, we've also enjoyed spirited competition between the Achaeans and Ionians. Did I mention the cold? The Polar Bear Club had to chop through 7 inches of ice on the Crew Lake in order to initiate its new members. Luckily, the arrival of 31 girls for the semi-formal midwinter dance helped to take the chill out of the air. It was great fun. By the way, Mr. Cole's wife delivered a new baby girl over the holidays. Lindsay is the name, and it doesn't look like Mr. Cole is getting much sleep these days. Mom, I've joined the new key committee that's been formed to greet visitors at Pomfret, and there are plenty of new things to show them. Headmaster Twitchell's spirit of progress has been reflected in the renovations of the 3rd and 4th dorms, and the completion of the new shop. There's also encouraging talk of a new main house. Pop, there's been so much progress since you attended Pomfret. Well, gotta run. Say hi to Sis for me.
Dear Mom and Dad, spring has finally sprung at Pomfret School, and that means Pomfretta. Check out the pictures I've sent along. Spring also means that the beauty of this campus is in full bloom, and I'm taking advantage of every minute I can to spend it outdoors. Crew practice has been fantastic, and Coach Rohr has been working us hard. But the first boat of Sullivan Splashers is showing the benefits of that hard work. Even the boys' crew coach, Mr. Dental, comes over to give us rowing tips. He's such an inspiration to us. There's nothing like the feeling of the boat gliding over the waters of Roseland Lake. All in all, it's been a great inaugural year for the girls' sports program here at Pomfret. Thanks to players like Linny Cole, Sue Arsenal, and Suzette Milner, Mr. Mergens Mahlers logged a successful season in soccer. Meanwhile, Mr. Ranhoff coached us to victory in girls' basketball, helped by the talents of Lori Hotdog Heidelberger and Kristen Petzold. I think we're beginning to show the boys on this campus that we're a force to be reckoned with. Speaking of genders, our winter production of Guys and Dolls received rave reviews and starred Joe Manis, Annie Geisinger, and Randy Finch. Mr. Sloat and Mr. Geisinger did a tremendous amount of work in pulling this show together. Helping out backstage was cool. I'm doing well with my studies and enjoy spending time on the school's state-of-the-art computers. I also spend a lot of time in our new library, and often catch myself staring out the window at Miss Dunbar's sculpture of the falconer. Sometimes I think I can actually feel the falcon getting ready to soar, kind of like me. It's hard to believe I'll be entering the 6th form this fall. As I look back on my Pomfret School education, I realize that it took a lot of courage and stamina to be one of the first skirts here. I think Mr. Milner still finds our presence on campus somewhat strange, but you can finally sense that we're not just Pomfret boys and girls anymore. We're Pomfret students. Now that's progress, and it's given me great faith in the future of coeducation at Pomfret. Bye for now. Miss you lots.
It is with great pleasure and pride that I present the members of the class of 2002.
Dear Mr. Hastings, what a great summer it has been. It seems like just yesterday that I received my diploma from Pomfret. Now here I am ready to head off to college. I'm already feeling nostalgic, so I thought I'd drop you an email. I remember starting my first year at Pomfret wondering if I would be smart enough to make the grade, fast enough to play soccer, talented enough to sing with the Grifftones, and lucky enough to get a date for the dance. Thanks to Pomfret, I've accomplished all these things and more. I've also discovered that I've gained confidence. My teachers challenged me to a higher level of thinking without making me feel ignorant. They motivated me to answer their questions, and many of my own. I found confidence on the soccer fields and the tennis courts, and the way my coaches encouraged me from the sidelines and inspired me long after the game was won or lost. I found it singing with students from different cultures and continents. What great memories I have from our music tours to South Africa and the Caribbean. My confidence was tested and strengthened by experiences like being a prefect for 2 years, serving as a vice president of voice, working with visiting fellows like Jacques D'Amboise, and of course, from sweating over my senior chapel speech. Confidence wasn't the only thing I gained. Pomfret School taught me the importance of character, spirituality, and respect for others. Through the example set by many of my teachers, I learned the value of leadership and giving back. Every day I saw the differences I could make in others' lives, and my own, by making good decisions. Most importantly, I had the chance to think critically and creatively beyond the walls of my dorm and my mind. With that, I learned not only to set goals, but acquired the discipline to attain them. As I stood beneath the sundial at graduation, I thought about all the alumni who have stood on that same spot, and the memories they took with them as they departed from the campus. It's kind of cool to think that I have a connection to them based on the values and traditions established long ago at Pomfret. Maybe, someday, I'll come back like you did and wind up being headmaster. For a place with so much history, Pomfret is hardly a place where time stands still. There are always signs of progress, a new vision or idea that results in new buildings and opportunities. Those who have always believed in the future of Pomfret have found ways to balance its tradition and growth. Thanks to the strong foundation, I am well prepared to meet my new challenges this fall and feel capable of making sound, reasonable decisions about my future. Mr. Hastings, I'm grateful to have spent my past 4 years with folks who felt like family, at a school that's always felt like home. As a Pomfret graduate, I look forward to many homecomings on the hilltop. Thanks for everything, and please give my best to Mrs. Hastings. I'll be sure to stay in touch.